Hi everybody, Henry Golis from Cloudian here. I wanted to take a few minutes and put together a quick demo on how to connect Dremio to your HyperStore system. Okay, first things first, let's get the required details from our HyperStore cluster. I'm going to go ahead and log in as the Dremio user, and as you can see, I have a couple of buckets created with CSV files inside. And the key point here to grab is the access key secret key credentials for the user to connect to the HyperStore cluster. And while we're here, don't forget to grab the S3 endpoint information. Okay, now moving on to the Dremio side of the house, I'm going to log in as administrator here. And under sources, I'm going to click add a source, select Amazon S3. And this is where I'm going to fill in the connection name details, the AWS access key, secret key. And for this demo, we're going to deselect encrypt connection. We're also going to want to add the names of the buckets we'll be using on the HyperStore cluster. So in this case, it's Dremio and Dremio Cloudian. Continuing through the advanced options, we're going to want to select Enable Compatibility Mode, and then we're going to add a few detail points for connection properties. So basically, the path style access value to true allows us to set a target outside of AWS S3 for Dremio, and the S3A endpoint value is going to be whatever your HyperStore S3 endpoint is. In this case, I'm using a single IP and I'm connecting over HTTP. However, in a production setup, this will be a fully qualified domain name, which will be your S3 endpoint, and the connection will be over HTTPS versus HTTP. One thing to note is do not put HTTPS or HTTP in the value field, just simply put in the FQDN colon and the port on which to connect. Don't forget to add the buckets that we'll be using. Once that's complete, click Save, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, back to the Dremio main screen. If you click on Cloudian S3 connection, you can see there are a couple of buckets listed. And once we drill into the Dremio bucket, we can see there's a CSV file. Now I'm clicking that little icon to the left of the CSV file, and that will bring up a option screen, a data format option screen for us. And we're simply selecting to extract column names and skip the first line, hit save. And this will bring us over to the SQL runner page where we can run a quick query, and you can see the details and the values of that CSV file that is sitting on the HyperStore bucket. And that concludes our demo on how to connect Dremio to a HyperStore cluster. If you're looking for more resources, head on over to cloudian.com for the latest and most up-to-date information.